Hey class, it is Mrs. Gilling here, and I am your Psychology B instructor this quarter, and I'm so excited to work with you. I love psychology. I love understanding why people do what they do in society, and I think it's fascinating. I'm sure you're going to find it fascinating as well. So this right here is your very first video assignment. You're going to watch this video, and then at the end, you're going to go to our Google Classroom, and you're going to fill out a very short worksheet on it. But before we get into all the nuts and bolts of what Psychology B entails and what you're going to be doing for your project, I want to let you know a little bit more about me. So I am Mrs. Gilling. This is me right here. I went to school at BYU. I graduated a few years ago in social science teaching, which means I can teach all the social studies. And a fun fact about me is I can ride a unicycle. So pretty cool. Probably the coolest thing I can do. And that's it. That's Mrs. Gilling. This right here is my husband, Ethan. He's an onion farmer. So right now he's in the thick of planting and pretty busy, but it's kind of fun living the farming life and seeing nature grow and seeing how that all works. Our little girl, Taylor, is 3, and she loves riding on the tractors with Ethan and doing all that fun stuff. She also loves Mickey Mouse, and she loves jumping on the new trampoline she got. She can talk a million miles a minute. She has a great vocabulary, and she just loves to ask the word why right now. All day long I hear, why this, Mom? Why that? What's that? Why does that happen? Why? And I try not to let it bug me. I try to be a good mom and just answer all of her questions, but there's days I'm like, I really don't know why. And she just kind of looks at me like, come on, Mom, get with the program. Like, you gotta know why. So she is a great daughter, and she's a great big help to our other girl. Her name is Skylar, and she is 18 months now. Actually, she's growing up pretty fast, and she's a funny kid. She just started going down the hall holding her belly and going ho ho ho. So she thinks she's Santa Claus, I guess. But she's a cute kid, and she doesn't know too many words, but she does know the important ones. So one of her first words was more, and the other one was candy. So more candy. I'd say she's got life pretty figured out right there. This is actually a recent picture of them. This happened over the weekend. So we were sitting in our living room on Friday, and Taylor, our 3-year-old, goes, Mom, the Easter Bunny came. And I'm all, I don't think so, honey. I don't think he's out there. She goes, Mom, no, for real. Look, the Easter Bunny came. And sure enough, taped to our window was this little picture, and it said, "You've been egged." And I looked out the front window, and sure enough, out in the yard, there were lots of little eggs filled with candy. And so I let the girls go out with their buckets to pick up all the things that our anonymous friend had left. And so I thought that was something pretty cool. There's a lot of good things going on in society still today. So let's get on to what you're here for, learning a little bit more about the course and what you're going to be doing. So here's your course. Actually, one more member of our family. I can't forget this. This is our standard poodle, Heidi, otherwise known as Princess Poodle Pants. So everyone's got a pet. Everyone loves their pet. So I thought you might want to see our cool poodle. The girls love her, so she's pretty great. All right, here's your course assignments. First, you have your checkpoints. They are worth 10% of your final grade, and they are found at the end of each lesson. They help you make sure that you understand what you've been studying. It's really important for you to use all of your attempts on these if you don't get 100%. The reason why is if you're only getting 80% or 60%, whatever you get less than 100 on these, it means you don't understand all the material. You're here to learn, right? So if you're not getting 100%, go back and take your second attempt. If after the second one you still haven't got 100%, go and take the third attempt. Don't stop just with a small amount of credit. You want to do a really good job on these, because if you do a good job on these, then you're going to do better on your unit exams. You also have your discussions. These are found at the end of every lesson. There's a discussion rubric that's located there as well that you can look at to see what the requirements are. It's also included in our course announcements. But essentially for each one, you need to write 3 to 5 sentences at least addressing the prompt. Just make sure to be thorough and answer them the best that you can. If you don't get 100%, then you can redo them as well. So each one's worth 20 points. So if you don't get 20 points, I'll leave a little remark saying, hey, great start, but make sure to include this, or try answering this again. Follow my instructions, answer it again, just make another comment, and then you can get more points for it. They're really cool. They help you kind of digest what you're learning and make sure you understand what's going on. Then you have your exams. They're worth 20%. They're at the end of each unit. You get 1 attempt on these. So If you're reading all the material, doing well on the checkpoints, you'll do a great job on your exams. I also have exam study guides that I've created, and you can find those right next to the video assignments, actually. So look at the beginning of each unit for the video, look underneath that, and there you'll find the study guide. And if you have trouble with those, can't find them, can't open them, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you. There's also a final exam, and that's where 10% is cumulative, which means it's covering, or it's comprehensive, excuse me, which means it's covering everything from unit 1 to 5, or 1 through 6. You'll learn it all, and it's good stuff. It'll have a study guide as well, and so you'll be okay there. But let me know if you have any questions about any of the tests. There is also projects. So each unit there's a project, and you'll have 4 unit projects, and then there's a close reading project, and then your very last project of the unit, you get two units to work on. So that's pretty cool. It's a newsletter that you'll do at the end, and you get 2 units. You get as many attempts as you need on these. Well, you get 3 attempts on these. Then usually by 3 attempts, if people choose to, they've gotten the points that they need. So do your best on these because they are worth 25% of your grade. But if for some reason you turn it in, you're not happy, let me know, and I can give you a second attempt. And if you're still not happy with that second attempt, I can give you a third attempt to do well on your projects. But they really help you to gauge your learning and to kind of dig deeper into psychology, learn the things you need to learn. A few more assignments. You have a close reading project. So this is in Unit 2, I believe. And it's a special unit project that teaches you how to analyze a document as if you were a psychologist. So you'll read a document, and then in each lesson, you'll answer different questions about it. So you'll read it probably 3 or 4 times. I'll go more into this lesson too, but it's not a scary project. Don't look at it and go, "Ooh, it's worth 5%. All the projects are worth 5%. It's just grouped in an area separate. And then you have video assignments. So as I mentioned before, with all of your projects, I will make videos just like this one that lets you know what you're going to be doing and what's required of you. I want to make sure that you watch these because they're very helpful for you. So in order to make sure that you're watching them, I've created video assignments. They are in our Google Classroom. And if you don't know how to get into the Google Classroom, let me know. But I've sent you all an invitation, so you should be able to find that in your email. But if you're having problems, let me know. And you'll just go there to our Google Classroom, answer the questions, and you get 5%. So pretty straightforward. And then you also have some project steps. So the project steps are worth 5%. There's 3 key term and image organizers and a journal. For the image organizers, what you're going to do is there's some terms that you pick from. So you'll pick a term, and then you'll go on the internet and you'll find a picture that helps you to remember that term, and then you'll paste it next to it, and you'll turn them in when they tell you to do that. And so it's the document for it's found in Unit 1, and you'll save it on your computer until it's time to turn in. At the ends of Units 2, 4, and 6, you will turn each of them in. And then the other project step you have is a journal. Now, a lot of students forget about this and do it at the end, but it's a lot easier if you do it throughout. So in Lesson 1, you'll create a journal document on your computer. I think it's easiest if you do it in Google Docs, but it's totally up to you. So create a journal document on your computer, and then as you go throughout, it'll give you a journal prompt in each lesson. I want you to answer those every time you come to them, and then turn them in Lesson 30 at the very end. As long as you have the correct number of journal entries at the end of the quarter and you turn it in, then you get full points on them, and you get docked for not having the entries. For each entry you're missing, you lose about 3 points. So make sure that you're doing those. And I'm not going to read those to see your deep, dark thoughts, your deepest ideas, none of that stuff. I'm reading them just to make sure. I'm just going through, okay, they answered each of those prompts, and they answered them thoroughly and did a good job there. But I like the journal entries. They just give you an opportunity to reflect on what you're reading and kind of to look around your surroundings and see how it applies. And then the last thing you have are workbooks. So workbooks are worth 10%, and you find them throughout your lesson. So as you study a textbook section, it'll start asking you questions, and you're going to answer those. There's absolutely no reason not to get 100% on these. You get an unlimited number of attempts. If you ever do a workbook and you don't get it right, you really need to go back and do it again, because if you're not going to do good on the workbooks, you don't do well on the checkpoints. If you don't do well on the checkpoints, you're not going to do well on the unit exams. So those are your assignments. Hopefully it doesn't seem too overwhelming. In all honesty, if you just stay on top of it and you're doing well attendance-wise and getting your lessons done that you need to, if you're getting at least 3 lessons done a week, then you'll be fine. And this isn't something to stress too much about. So I want to go over now your Unit 1 project. So for Unit 1, you're going to complete research on the following specific fields in psychology. So first, you're going to research sports psychology. Then you're going to research industrial/organizational psychology. And third, you're going to research forensic/criminal psychology. And fourth, you're going to research gerontology. And so, well, the way you're going to do this is in lesson 1, you're going to download a packet, and that packet's in PDF form. If your computer and PDFs aren't friends, then I will allow you just to make a Google Doc or a Word doc with the required information. It's not going to be anything difficult for you to make if you choose to do so. You literally at the top just write sports psychology and then put the required information, and then another section that said industrial/organizational psychology and write the information. So if you can make the PDF work for you, if you're able to download it, then great. If not, you can just write the information on its own document, not a big deal. So for each one of these, in lesson 1, you're going to go online and you're going to Google sports psychology, and you're going to learn as much as you can about sports psychology. You just need to make sure to write 1 paragraph after you do that. Write 1 paragraph for each field, listing the issues each field addresses and why it is important. So answer those 2 questions in paragraph form. So at least 3 sentences. So give me at least 3 sentences in your own words how each of those fields psychology, what it addresses and why it's important. And make sure under each one to include your citations. You need to include them in MLA format. Lesson 1 tells you how to do that. There's a link to it. So put your sources and put them in MLA format. You get graded on that. You get points for that. So make sure to do that. It's a really straightforward project. So Unit 1, you study sports psychology, write 1 paragraph, cite your sources. Lesson 2, study industrial/organizational psychology, write 1 paragraph, cite your sources. Lesson 3, study forensic psychology/criminal psychology, write 1 paragraph, cite your sources. Then number 4, gerontology, write your paragraph, cite your sources. Then in lesson 5, you're going to write 1 paragraph analyzing what you think psychology is going to look like in the future. So for that one, you're not doing any additional research. You're just going to reflect on what you've studied, and you're going to think, man, what kind of psychology do I see in the future? What do I think is going to come up? A good way to think about that, or look at the issues going on in the world today. What kind of psychology might we need? What might people be interested in learning about then? So once you've done that, then you'll submit it all at once. You don't need to submit it in each step. Just all at once at the very end, you're going to turn in that document that you saved to me, and I will look it over and we'll see how you did. So it's a pretty straightforward project. As long as you are working on it throughout, it's not going to be overwhelming for you. It'll be pretty simple. And I think you'll find it fascinating. A lot of people will do this assignment and then go, you know what? I never knew there was a such thing as sports psychology, but it makes sense. And now I want to do that when I graduate, when I get older, I want to pursue that. Or I've had other students be like, you know what? Like, it would help me to see this kind of psychologist. Like, I didn't know these kind of people existed. So it's a fun project. It's not too difficult, like I said, as long as you stick on top of it and get it done. But it's a good one for you. So now that you know what you're going to be doing this quarter and what you know what you need to do for your project, I want you to go to our Google Classroom. You should have all received an email letting you know that you've been invited to it and that you've been added to it. And so you should be able to access it. If not, let me know and I can get you in. But go to our Google Classroom and complete your Unit 1 video assignment. It's not very hard. It's literally a few questions long, simple questions. It'll take you maybe 5 minutes. The questions are things like, what's your name? Did you watch the video? What do you have to do for your Unit 1 project? And do you have any questions? Go turn that in, and then you're that much closer to passing the class and getting a good grade. And it's important that you turn these in because, like I said, it counts towards your grade. They're worth 5%, but they also let me know how you're doing in the class and if you understand the projects that you're being asked to do. So I'm very excited to work with you guys, to get to know you and to share what I know about psychology. So good luck with this class and with the rest of your classes with this quarter, and we'll see you in the next video assignment. Have a good one, guys.